what to do with my life. I don't know. I have so many passions. I like drawing, painting, I like computer science, mathematics, I like game dev, I cannot count them all, needle felting comics, so many things that I like. What I want this video to be about is actually a breakdown of how I discovered I was multi-passionate. Oh my god, sounds like a disease right now, but that's actually not what I mean. It has its struggles and difficulties for sure, but I don't think it's always a disadvantage. It doesn't have to be, at least that's my opinion. And how I will deal with this in the future is what I'm gonna talk especially in the end about. And just some tips that it would also give you if you have the same issues that I have. So, start time! So as time progressed, kind of math and art were my favorite subjects in school. I know, kind of an odd combination, but that's how it was. When I was in school, I thought, yes, that's a great thing. In university, I only have to specialize on one thing and I can do my favorite thing only, forever. No other classes that I don't particularly enjoy, like German or religion, they're not there anymore. And I was really excited for that. But then, when I actually went to university for math, what I realized was, this kind of sucks. I mean, I like math, it's still interesting, but I wish I still had Latin. I missed Latin. And maybe also the other classes, history, physics. It's nice to sometimes learn something in different areas, even if it's not like your core interests. It was still nice to have them. And that's when I realized I'm probably more of a generalist or a multi-passionate, however you want to call it. Because I actually was more comfortable in school than I was in university. And I know there's different flavors and tastes in math as well, different directions you can go into. But that was the next problem. My inability to specialize within mathematics. In the first semesters, this difference of me and my colleagues didn't show as much. I wasn't doing bad, okay? But after the first 3 semesters, so half of the studies, I saw my colleagues specializing in stuff. They all found their favorite thing, their one thing they really love, and they specialized in it. And I was getting desperate. I didn't have anything I wanted to specialize in yet. What do I even like? So every semester I tried a new thing. Algebra, analysis, statistics. Tried them all, and oddly enough, nothing really stuck. So after I had done that, I continued with computer science. There was a lot of enjoyable courses. I picked a lot of classes in AI and machine learning, but after 2 semesters I also got sick of that and I didn't pick machine learning 2 or computer vision 2. I picked something completely different, computer graphics or virtual reality. And yeah, I just wanted to do something completely different. And this pattern repeats itself through my whole life. I finish something or I learn enough about it until my curiosity is completely satisfied. And I want to move on to the next thing. And I feel like that probably also is a multi-passionate person thing, that you just, when you feel like you've figured something out decently enough, you're just like, okay, I don't care about the rest. Let me just get to the next thing. I want to learn something new again. So I wasn't able to specialize in computer science as well. And actually, after 6 or 7 years of studying math and computer science, I was pretty tired. I hadn't done a lot of art on the side because I was busy studying, and I felt like kind of some big part of my life was missing. That's why after my master thesis, that really was very stressful and also burnt me out a little bit, I did something completely different. For the next 1.5 years, I committed to making an art YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now. It wasn't very successful, but it was a lot of fun for me to make these videos. I was feeling happy, I think. I was feeling happy, but I think a reason why this YouTube channel wasn't able to take off was because, again, I was not able to specialize. I have too many different interests within art. Bad for me, I guess. So after not seeing success, I thought, one last chance, at least give your career a chance after you studied for 7 years. I know, maybe it's sunk cost fallacy, maybe it's just, I have to try this at least once before I give up. And that's what I did. I got a job as a web designer in a very small company, and at first it was not too bad actually. I really liked it. I didn't like working 40 hours per week, don't get me wrong, but I kind of adjusted to it a little bit. But then something bad happened. Something that kind of always happens. I just got bored again. I felt like I had figured everything out there is about web dev. I just have to apply the skill set over and over again. And there were also different issues as well. I don't want to go into depth into them because I'm not sure if it fits perfectly with the video topic, but basically the problem was that I felt pretty isolated, was working from home, and also the things I was working on, I didn't believe in their success and in their meaningfulness. And so it felt really dead end, and I struggled really hard to motivate myself. Probably that's also a thing about multi-passionates, is that we are very passionate beings. But if we're not passionate in something, then it's so hard to work on it. Because we'd love to do 1,000 different things instead. I was not doing well at all. I was getting lazy, unmotivated, didn't work a lot. No one cared about my work. I was at a low point. I suffered a lot. Yeah, when I was working in the job, I was just the programmer guy. I was just there to program stuff for them. My art, my artistic side, no one would be interested in that. I wouldn't paint or design anything, not a banner or anything. They would have designers for that, because the world is specialized and they want us to be specialists, kind of, I think. And as a generalist, this isn't the place to be. I wasn't happy with being just the programmer guy. And I was realizing I was getting very, very unhappy. Like, some days I realized when I watched a YouTube video, and it actually made me laugh. I realized, wow, this was the first and only time that I laughed today. And I'm a very goofy and happy person, if I can be. And I don't want to be stone-faced sitting in front of my PC all on my own doing programming things no one will ever care about, and then be like just sitting there programming all day. So that's the only reasonable thing to do. I friggin' quit. I quit the job. I just quit. And when I talked to my boss about that I want to quit, and he said he understands, I was so happy. I was so happy. I felt so free again. These dopamine hits rushing through me. Oh my god, I felt like I'd never be that happy again. And I loved it. I loved not having this job anymore, but it was a really scary thing for me to do. I was looking around what people said, also in YouTube videos, what should I do when I quit? And they often said you should have the next job already lined up, but I was not sure I wanted to do the same thing, so it felt like I was just taking a very blind leap of faith there. And it probably looks very stupid to everyone else but me. I'm jumping from the safe ground to uncertainty, not sure if I will land there. But the old land wasn't that safe after all. I was slowly getting unhappy and a lazy person. It probably would have ended in depression, not gonna lie. So I was getting the hell out of there, and I'm not sure if it will work out for me, if I will be financially stable. I know I am very privileged to be able to do this. I have a little bit of savings and I have a lot of support from my family, so I'm able to not sleep under the bridge, basically. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm very fortunate, and yeah, I did that. It was a little bit crazy, but I wanted to follow my passions again. And here we go again, circle to the topic of the video, my multiple passions. How would I decide which of them I should choose for my next career step? And to that I still not do have an answer, but I do have some steps lined out that I think will lead me to success. Basically, after I quit, after I was in this very dark place, I was following multiple passions. So basically the day when I quit was also the day where I started my 30 days of acrylic paintings, still life edition, and I was so happy. And while I was doing the still lifes, I told my family, maybe I want to be an artist. Yeah, let me just be a little bit delusional. Maybe I want to be. And just because I said that, I think one of my family members found a colleague at work that actually had an office room that needed some paintings. And they actually wanted me to make them. So I had my first art commission, and the customer was very, very kind. And I was really scared to do this, but I did it anyway. And it turned out she really liked the paintings, and I sold them. I never believe that I would actually sell my art. I've been doing art for so many years, but I didn't have the confidence to think that I could actually sell it. So I'm massively grateful for this experience. While I was at it, I started meanwhile the game dev challenge with my brother. Like, he taught me how to make video games in 5 weeks. And the reason why I wanted to test this out is because on paper, this seems like the perfect avenue for me. Like, I know how to program, I know how to make art, and it's very diverse in the activities that you can perform. Also music and sound design and everything. That sounds very fun to me. And it actually was. You can watch the video here if you're interested. But that's why I actually went with this project. I sincerely wanted to figure out if this is something for me. So we're almost reached today. What I also did on the side, I was meeting up with some local artists, and especially one art shop very close to me. I asked, what do you have to do to become an art teacher here? Because they also offered some art classes here in the shop. She was really happy with my ideas, and I'm giving like 3 courses in a couple of months. So I'm doing needle felting, acrylic, still lifes and drawing comics. I can give this shop owner some of my products and she can sell them for me. These are just some of the things I needle felted recently. So you can put this in your hair, it's a flower, old keychain, or a sushi. Yeah, so I had fun doing these a lot recently. What my immediate plans for the future are is I want to try a couple more things so I can get rid of my fear of missing out. Because I think that's a huge problem when you're multi-passionate. If you commit to one thing, you always know, and all the other things I wanted to do, when am I gonna do them then? And that's why I've done so many different things, all right one after the other, because I want to get rid of this FOMO. If it's a lifelong dream of me to be a selling artist, yeah, I've done that now, with 2 paintings maybe, but I've done it. If I want to sell my own art goods at a fair, check. If I want to teach a class in art, check. If I want to try game dev once at least, check. Check. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm checking all the boxes off. Imagine if you have a list of all the things you want to achieve in your life, and you check all of them off now, you'll be free to do any big project you want for the rest. Because all the important things that you wanted to try, you've already done them. Whatever you want to do it now. That's my advice. If you're gonna take away only one thing from the video, write that comic now, start now, make this game now, make the artwork now. Just do it. Because you don't know how long you're gonna live. Only I do, and I'm not telling you. What I've been paying really close attention to is who are my idols, examples that I kind of feel like, oh, I would love for that to also be in my life. Like if someone sells self-made plushies, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And depending on how much I light up talking about it, I now kind of get an understanding on how high it is on my passion ladder. By trying all these things out, I realized how fun they really are and how fun they are in comparison to each other. Like how much fulfillment I get out of it. This will really help me to pick the right project, the right next project for the right reasons. And after this exploration phase, I think I will choose my mountain and I will walk up this mountain to this goal. Because as my brother said, reaching this goal won't bring you happiness or fulfillment. Only when the way towards the goal is already fun, you will also be happy. And for the most part, because clearly quitting your job, accomplishing something like a degree gives you very short-time happiness, but in the long run, this will just be normal to you. You will feel like, oh, of course I got a degree in maths, and anyone could have done it. So what I really strive for is everyday happiness over the shiny thing, the goal that I reach, and then I will be happy. No, this will never happen. So what I've done sounds very risky, very stupid, just taking a leap of faith into the unknown, not knowing if there will be solid ground under my feet. But it really gives me so much joy and happiness to have done that, and I will never regret that, to have done that for myself. And I feel like I'm growing so much in the last months and becoming a happier person, also working on my confidence. I feel like I'm becoming a better person every single day. If you have multiple passions, don't be ashamed if you're not the best at something. There's still time for you if you really want to become the master of something. And if you don't, that's also fine. People who are good at many things, they're very admirable. My grandma, for example, she's able to play so many different instruments. The piano, the cello, the violin. The flute. And she's like, I wished it would be very cool to be just good at one thing. But I think being good at multiple things is so freaking cool, and I think that's also very admirable. So if you're a generalist, if you're multi-passionate, don't be ashamed. You're an awesome being for being able to do so many different things, and I'm proud of you. And I think you're an amazing person as well. So after this praise, go out in the world, do something. Do something you're proud of, that lights you up. I will try to do so myself, and let me know in the comments which are your passions, and I'll see you in the next video.